Hello.
Hi. Welcome.
Welcome.
I like it.
Thank you. Well, here we are. It's 900 degrees.
It is hot.
It's really, really hot.
The retreat does not have central air.
No, the retreat does not have central air.
The house doesn't have central air either.
Shut up.
Yeah, my
Since when?
Since last night.
Oh, no. That's not good.
No, it needs to be serviced every year.
Get it moving.
Because it does.
Okay. Oh, that happens. Hi, Sharon. So good to see you every week. I love that.
Yes, thank
love
you.
That. Yeah. Appreciate it. It's wonderful. I think that we are going to maybe have to adjust the time. We'll have to think about that. I know that a lot of people watch this recorded, and I feel like maybe people have had to go back to their regular job now or other things. So we'll talk about what time we're going to keep doing this, and for how much longer. We'll talk about that too, because we're going to be switching over to our podcast.
Yay! I'm so itching to get the podcast going.
I know. It's quite a process. So everything just takes time, and everything always takes longer than what I anticipate that it's ever going to take. So there's always that little component as well. But welcome. Anyway, welcome for the folks that have tuned in. If you want to make a watch party, that would be awesome if you could do that. If you comment during the live broadcast, like Sharon and Vicki, hi Vicki, you will be entered in to win a Pitbull Advocates of America t-shirt.
Woot woot. That's very exciting.
It is very exciting.
Yes. And last week's winner is Dawn Waite. So Dawn, if you are listening, you are the winner. Did you contact her yet? I don't remember.
I did, but I haven't heard from her.
Gotcha. Okay. So Dawn, there's a message waiting for you.
There is a message.
Please get back to Michelle and we can send you out your t-shirt.
Yeah.
Also, the raffle winner. So the raffle prize for last week is Tina Keisner. Is that how you say it?
Keisner, I think.
Keisner. Yeah. So Tina, thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you for entering to win the raffle. You are last week's raffle prize winner.
That was a cool raffle prize.
That was a cool raffle
prize.
Raffle prize. Talking's hard.
It is hard.
It's rough.
It's really hard. It's hard.
It's so hot.
I'm really glad that the camera isn't picking up the sweat. I feel like it's not, at least. So, hey Tina! Yay!
Yeah, you won! That's awesome.
It's so exciting.
And Christina. Hello, Christina.
Hi, Christina. And Anna. Hi, Anna. I know. Yeah. Our plants miss you, Anna.
Our plants miss you in a serious way.
They miss you so much. Hi, Edith. Hi, Katie. You're so welcome. We do it very selfishly. Yeah. Yeah. We do it really.
Love it.
It's just the best thing ever.
It's really awesome.
Best thing ever.
Anyway, raffles. So the new prize this week is a whole bunch of stuff for you and your pooch. There's a Victoria's Secret bag in there. There's a Sugar Skull pillow. There's licky mats for your dog, which were huge on enrichment, which is awesome.
Yes.
So a whole bunch of different stuff. The picture will go up shortly after the live broadcast.
There's a Changing Minds and Saving Lives bowl in there.
Oh yeah, dog bowl. That's very exciting.
I think it is exciting. I love it. It's awesome. There's a bunch of stuff though. Yeah, we kind of cleaned house and made I think, pretty kick-ass raffle prize for you guys for this week. So
yeah. So be sure to check out that pictures so you can see all the good stuff and then buy your tickets. Tickets are $5 each, or 5 tickets for $20.
Yes, ma'am.
And don't forget, we also have the monthly raffle going on, which is the awesome Kate Spade bag.
Oh, super cute. Sorry, I keep forgetting it's right is left and left is right.
Yes, so it's a cute little shoulder bag. Absolutely adorable. So tickets for that are $10. Oh, there you go. Look at that. I like it.
Yeah. My daughter hasn't confiscated it yet somehow. So that's a really good thing.
It survived.
Oh my gosh, what happened to our color?
You stood up and it went haywire. That's all I know. Right. So the drawing for that is June 3rd. Tickets are $10. And tickets are at the same location as the weekly raffle tickets.
They are. Yeah. That link is found in the event, but we also always put it in the in the posts that we do to let you guys know.
Anna's gonna come back to the plants. She promises.
It's
in black and
We're
white
gonna
now.
need to let the plants know because I think that they are really sad. Really sad plants.
The weeds are taking over.
Hi, Danny from North Beach, Maryland. Maryland, right?
I don't know. I was waiting for you to say it.
I'm pretty sure that it's North Beach, Maryland. I gotta brush up on our abbreviations for the states a little bit, but and you're so welcome too. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in and for telling your friends and for telling your family and your coworkers and for letting people know that this is going to turn into a kick-ass podcast soon-ish, within the matter of a few weeks. It'll go by like that. You guys will like not all of a sudden there will be the podcast and it'll be fabulous. So today are we done with our
I think we're done.
Okay. Housekeeping items. Sure. Today we're talking about kind of a controversial topic, right?
Kind of.
Super controversial. Yeah. This is where you'd rather be doing a podcast than having someone stare at your face or be able to make live comments because this could go horribly wrong. And hopefully that is not going to happen. I want to just start out by saying that what we're going to talk about today is the fact that dog training, which I would love to call dog teaching, I'm going to put that out there, but dog training is an unregulated industry, and that there are several different ways that people explain the type of training that they do. And I just want to start out with a couple of really quick things. One, this is a huge topic.
Yeah.
This is a huge topic. This is a topic that Victoria and I can sit around and talk about. Literally, we can go down rabbit holes and rabbit holes and rabbit holes for hours. So it's a huge topic. We're going to try and really condense it down to like 15 or 20 minutes. And we're going to try really hard to do that. The other thing that I want to just put out there really quick is that we're not judging. We're not judging what type of training you do with your dog. We're not judging the trainer that you already have. If you hear something today and you think that maybe you want to look into other trainers, that could possibly happen. If you hear something today and you're like, I got the best trainer, this is awesome. But we're two opinionated people, and we like to think that our opinions are based on some sort of scientific knowledge. But I don't want anyone to feel, oh, there went the color again. Hello, we're not pumpkins anymore. But you know, I don't want people to think, because we really stress advocating for anything without judgment.
Right.
And some of the things that we view as being negative or not great for dogs, we both actually used to a decade or so ago used to do because we didn't know any better.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what you don't know, and we understand that. That being said, there's my disclaimer. So no hateful comments, please. There's a lot of ways that we can explain the types of training that we personally believe in here at Pitbull Advocates of America, or any other types of training too. So some of the buzzwords that are out there right now are things like, huge positive reinforcement.
Right.
I don't know that a lot of people even know what that means, but positive reinforcement. There's force-free training. There's fear-free training. There's modern training. There's old school training. There's aversive training, which I don't think a lot of people say, but I think that what a lot of trainers that use aversives would call them are balanced.
Yeah.
Okay. Balanced trainers.
And what is an aversive?
Well, I'm so glad that you asked, Victoria. An aversive would be something that it would be kind of the opposite of what you're going to think of when you're going to think of positive reinforcement, where it has, and I hate using the words actually positive and negative, but it has kind of a negative effect on the animal. So I'm going to give you an example, since I'm not giving you a great explanation. I'm going to give you an example. Prong collars are aversive. Shock collars are aversive. There is no question about where they fall in the gamut of different types of training. They are aversive.
Yeah. An aversive is anything that the dog finds unpleasant that is used to change his or her behavior.
There's the definition I was struggling for.
I got you.
Thank you for
that.
that.
It's fantastic.
Thank you for that. Yeah, spray bottles.
Spray bottles.
Yeah, shaker cans. And do we know a lot of people that use these different tools in different ways and whatnot? Absolutely, we do. We just don't endorse them here because of the fact of the definition that she said, where they cause pain or they cause some sort of emotional or physical discomfort. Do aversives work? Sure.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And they work quickly too. Like you can get a dog to stop being reactive relatively quickly.
I can get you to stop doing shit.
Well, please don't.
I know. But it's true. It's true though. I mean, so there's no question about whether or not positive reinforcement works, and there's no question about whether or not aversive training works. It all absolutely works. It's just, what do we want to do with our companions, with our friends, with our buddies? How do we want to teach them to live well balanced, happy lives? And that's really why I wish that we could say teaching dogs stuff instead of training them. But anyway, that's just me.
See, rabbit hole. It's really easy to go down.
It's so hard. It's so incredibly hard. We want to focus on the dog's mental and physical health and well-being. Dogs have brains, they have emotions, they have personalities. They have capabilities. All animals, I could go off on that for a long time too. All animals have capabilities beyond what you probably can imagine right now. We're both animal behavior geeks.
Totally.
Which is another reason why we could talk about this forever. But in this unregulated industry that we have of training, I think it's kind of important that you guys, when you're trying to pick out a trainer or when you're needing someone or your friend is, that's what we do. We all ask Facebook, what should we do? So when someone says that they're a balanced trainer, that sounds like pretty cool. It sounds like,
yeah, you just said that we want a well-balanced dog.
Right.
So when you pair that with I'm a balanced trainer, it sounds really good. But in reality, what they are doing is using a mix of positive reinforcement. They're also using positive punishment sometimes too. So they're adding something that changes the dog's behavior, like a prong collar or a shock collar, something like that as well. So a lot of times I feel like in this industry, you'll see fancy words and words to make things sound better than they actually are.
Yeah.
And as a consumer, if you don't know, you don't know.
Right. Shout out really quick to one of our favorite trainers. I know, Jennifer Pratt's in the house.
Yay!
If you are looking for a trainer, a teacher for your dog that is going to use the most progressive techniques and the safest ways with your dog, Jennifer Pratt is wonderful, and she is with
Wag the Dog
and Company, and she helps us with our rescue dogs here at the Advocates of America, and we're so grateful to have you, Jennifer. Hello, Taylor. Hello, Lynn. So proceed. I'm sorry. I just had to put that in there really quick because I saw her say hi.
Yes. So what do all of these terms mean? I think was the original thing before we got a little derailed. You're going to hear a whole bunch of terminology. Fear-free, force-free, like she was saying, positive reinforcement. That means that in general, as a whole, you treat your dogs with kindness and respect, and you take into consideration how they're feeling about the training process in general, and you're trying to modify how they feel about a certain situation. So instead of using punishment or using corrections to suppress the behavior, you're trying to make them change how they feel about any given situation. So it doesn't really make sense to say that you believe in positive reinforcement training and then use a prong collar on your dog. So those are just kind of the terms that you'll hear us use via Facebook posting or when we're talking about it. I really like force-free the best. but
as
essentially,
far as a term,
as far as
and
a
as far as
term,
how to teach your dog.
right. But essentially, it all means the same thing.
Right.
I
think that force-free is really kind of easy to understand.
Right.
Because,
it is. Yeah.
you know, you're not using force to teach your dog things. You know?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And
Seems
again, we
rather
want them to
understandable.
think on their own. You know, like instead of forcing your dog down on a sit, let them try to figure it out. Like they have brains, they'll figure it out. They want that reward.
Yeah.
So the punishment, you could say, like if you even want to call it that, would be that they just don't get the reward if they get it wrong. They stand instead of sit, then they don't get the reward. And like when I'm teaching new things to a dog, it's so fun to watch them think it through. Because like sometimes you can see the wheels turning.
Yes, for
and it'll be
sure.
like, what do you want? Do you want to sit? Do you want to down? Like, what do you want me to do? So they'll try it, and then once they get it, you can build that foundation by constantly reinforcing it.
Yeah. You might see this a little bit in a little different way with your dogs too when they do something called offering behavior. So you have a treat for them, and they, you know, they just are like that. You haven't even asked them to do anything yet, but they see this treat or they see their toy or they see whatever, and they're like, oh, you know, what does she want me to do? Does she want me to shake? Does she want me to run around in circles? Does she want me to sit right here? So offering behavior, I think it's just fun to see because you know that they're thinking, how do I get that out of her hand? Yeah. You know, or how do I get that for myself?
Yeah. And we as an organization really believe in making sure that the mental health of our dogs are protected and that they're doing good and that they're being enriched. And we don't necessarily believe in having perfectly obedient minions. Like we just don't, that's not something that is of high priority to our organization.
Yeah. I'm not a wonderfully 100% obedient minion in my life, and I'm a human being.
Right. Yeah.
And I cannot do that. I can't.
Yeah.
I am incapable of 100% of the time doing what I should be doing. So I cannot ask that of our dogs. I just can't.
Right.
It's unreasonable.
And like you said earlier, they're our best friends. Like they give us so much. They help us grieve. They wait for us to come home. So why on earth would you want to train or manage your dog using any sort of fear or force? Like you don't want to. Like I believe that people genuinely don't want to. However, those techniques do work and they can work quickly, especially if you're modifying a more difficult behavior. So that appeal is there. That positive reinforcement can take some time to really get through. So
yeah.
Oh, Crystal received a
t-shirt. Yay! Yeah, that's the hard thing. We live in this drive-through society, right? We live in a society where when I click a website and my internet is slow that day and it takes 10 seconds to get to the website instead of 2 seconds to get to the website, I'm ticked. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? So that's a really hard thing then when we're talking about, you know, teaching our dogs things, and we still want that. We want that instant gratification. We want them to learn, and even if we want it for the right reason, we're like, we just want them to learn, to feel comfortable doing something, and but we can go about it then sometimes the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know, it's always easier to run through McDonald's drive-through. Is it healthier? No. If you didn't know that, I'm sorry, but it's not actually really that healthy. I know. Chick-fil-A isn't either.
No, it's not.
Don't hurt
Their
me.
waffle fries
Don't
are
hurt me.
amazing.
They are. They're fast and delicious.
Waffle
Delicious. But not necessarily the healthiest. And that's kind of how we look at training and teaching our dogs. We want what's healthiest for them, not necessarily what's the fastest and the easiest. We want what's going to be healthiest for them long term.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
And on our website too, we do have good resources on there. So we have a page called Why Force Free that kind of explains it a little bit. Again, the topic is so huge that it's hard. When we were writing that, it was really hard to condense into that page. I am also a huge believer in scientific studies. So there are people who have dedicated their lives to figuring out how animals best learn.
Thank God.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And it has been shown that positive reinforcement is a good way to teach your dog. Now, granted, the other stuff does work, but there's less fallout. And I think that that's really the most important thing, that when you're doing spray bottles or shock, you run the risk of of the dog becoming more fearful. Whereas the other side of the coin, there's really no risk. Yes, you are dependent on treats. Yes, you can fade them out.
Yeah.
That's a whole another topic.
Right.
But
you accomplish suppressing the behavior.
Right.
So you think it's gone and it's just sitting there waiting to boil over is actually what's happening. So it's like kind of like in humans when we don't deal with our anger, when we don't work through it, we just suppress it, we push it down, we push it down, and we push it down, and then one day we just explode and freak out. And when you have teeth and, lower inhibition and you're really upset, that can be really an ugly outcome for what you thought was doing the right thing. I just want to stress that again really quick. I know that there's people that are probably listening to this that are like, oh crap, I use a prong collar. There's nothing wrong with it and whatnot. I've been there and done that, and I totally get it. And we're not judging you. We just want you to open your mind and ask us more questions. Email us, go to the website, check it out. Fact check some things. I saw a great quote once. I think it was from oh my gosh, I'm blanking. My very favorite trainer in the whole wide world,
Ken Ramirez.
Thank you. I just totally believe. See, she knew who it was though. I was blanking. I'm pretty sure it was a quote from him that said that if you're really good at using aversives, then you don't need them because you can do everything without any type of force or fear or anything or any aversive. So
yeah, and there's fallout too potentially from those things. So I knew somebody who used a spray bottle to get their dog to stop barking. It worked. Their dog stopped barking, but one day she brought out the Windex to clean her windows and the dog hit the deck and then ran for cover. Like, do you really want that unintended consequence? No, like you just want to wash your windows without your dog freaking out about it. So like that could have been accomplished another way, but again, like if you don't know better, you can't do better. And dog training is absolutely unregulated as an industry. So that means that there's no minimum education requirements. There is no credentials that you have to have. Anybody can create a small business, create a website, and then go offer to train your dog. And they don't technically have to let you know what they're going to do to your dog. Hopefully everybody is informing consumers, but that's not the case. So it really falls on the consumer to be smart and to do their research. So that means not going with potentially the first trainer that you find on Google. Like you have to vet your trainers, absolutely.
And ask them questions.
Yes.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
No, not at all. And like ask good questions, like ask what happens when my dog does something right and what happens when my dog gets it wrong, because your dog is going to get it wrong in the course of training. So what happens? And the trainer should, in plain English, be able to tell you what's going to happen. Your dog's going to get a reward. Your dog is going to get a timeout. Your dog is going to have shock delivered to them. Your dog is going to get a leash jerk, like plain English. So there's no like fancy jargon, like I'm going to come in with my pack energy and everything's going to be great. Like that's not how it works. So if you like see that on a website,
that's fantastic.
It is our opinion that you just run the other way. I've seen that on a website before. It's horrifying. But yeah,
my pack energy.
Yeah, there's no like magical fix. Like
no.
Yeah, like there's no magical fix. It's good old fashioned hard work. Unless you slap an aversive on and suppress the behavior.
Right. We learned the hard way too, Tracy.
I seriously learned the hard way. Yeah, so I was
the hard way too.
I was 22 years old, living in North Carolina with my German Shepherd, who pulled on a leash. So we walked into the PetSmart and we signed up for a class, and they're like, "Here's your prong collar, and every time he gets like a paw in front of you, turn around and jerk the leash." So the problem with that is my jerk of the leash is different from my husband's jerk of the leash. So when Kyle did it, Gunner ended up yelping. And I felt bad and Kyle felt bad, but we were listening to a professional who said that this was the only way to do it. So when you're 22 and you don't know any better, and you think that you're listening to a professional who's only offering you this as a solution, what are you supposed to do? So like as a consumer, it's really important that you do your due diligence and research and figure some stuff out.
Yeah, it really is.
And most important thing, your dog cannot speak for themselves. They have no ability to do that. So you are your dog's advocate.
Yeah.
Period. The end. They have no say in the matter.
Yeah. Yeah. You're the last, you're the end stop.
Right.
So it's up to you to find the best thing for your buddy. I know. I mean, I have been, and then I think we probably need to wrap it up. But I know. We're gonna sit here for like an hour and a half after we turn this off, and we're gonna chit chat about this for sure. But so I've owned my dogs. Love that one. But I have since 2002, so I have almost 20 years of dog ownership under my belt, which does absolutely nothing for me whatsoever. I've been driving a car for 30 years, and I don't know how to fix that. Anyway, but I have been actively involved in teaching dogs, in learning how to teach dogs and learning how to train dogs for more than a decade. And I would never call myself a trainer. Holy crap. I would never call myself a trainer.
Training is technical. Like
no kidding.
It's technical. There's operant conditioning, classical conditioning, and positive reinforcement, positive punishment, negative reinforcement, positive reinforcement. I said that one already. See, even I get confused. And like the positive and negatives don't mean good or bad. They mean is something being added or is something being taken away to either increase or decrease behavior.
Yeah, it's really, really technical, and there's a lot that that goes into it, and really honestly, some people have the best intentions, and I understand that, but you know, when you've been working around dogs for 6 months and watched a couple videos and you know some shows on television or something, you know, I used to love to when Cesar Millan was a bigger topic, you know, and people would say, you know, like, oh, I've watched Cesar Millan, I know what to do. I'd be like, really? Have you watched like Michael Jordan play basketball and now you're just like an NBA superstar GOAT legend? Like, are you kidding me? No. We can watch a lot of stuff on television and not be able to emulate it in real life. Like, seriously.
Yeah, it's technical.
And not that we want to emulate Cesar Millan. Let's put that in there too. Not that we want to do that. Please don't send me a whole bunch of hate mail. We can talk about that at a different time. But, you know, but that's not what we're looking to emulate at all. Hi, Amy. I don't think I ever said hi to Kaylin either. Hi, Kaylin, by the way. And Dawn is here. So, Dawn, you won the T-shirt last week. Just wanted to make sure that so we're not friends. So, like, you have to go in your other mailbox and stuff like that. But check it out. There's a message in there for you so that you can get your T-shirt. Yeah.
I think we should maybe be done.
Yeah, I think that we've done we've done an okay job of not completely derailing.
No, not at all.
We had a little script for this, and I think we kind of 65%. We did all right. Yeah. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in, for saying hello, for letting us know that you care about what we have to say. That's so exciting that, you know, Victoria acts like she cares what I say all the time, but I know.
Yeah, she knows better by now. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we love what we do, and we want to help you all to do advocacy and teaching your dogs and all types of different things. We want you to be able to do it better, the best that we can. We want to grow with you, and we want you to grow with us. And
we're just all going to grow together, apparently.
We are.
Yay!
We are. It's going to be wonderful. Did anyone happen to notice my tattoo, by the way?
I know.
I'm just wondering if you happened to notice my tattoo. Well, no, I know. I was
going to go up a little bit.
Yeah. There it is.
It's so
That's
pretty.
Capone. That's Capone. Worst thing ever, getting a memorial tattoo that you've been waiting 5 years for in September and then having to cover it up for the whole winter. That was stupid.
I know, she was wearing a tank top the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot you got Capone.
I know. So exciting. So he's the whole reason why we're sitting here.
We
would not be sitting here talking about any of this without this guy, without without pooping. You keep pooping him. God, I miss him. Oh, it's so wonderful having him where I can see him every day now, though. Yeah, and I know that he's not listening, but John Laurent, dude, you rock. Fabulous. Holy cow.
Oh my gosh, seriously.
Yeah, just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So anyway, Edith wanted to ask something. But we're gonna go, okay? We're gonna go.
See, we want to see
all right.
Capone.
It's so hard to and now we turned into pumpkins again. How does that happen?
I think it's your shirt. Oh.
There we go. There we go. Is that good? Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this is so much more difficult than you guys understand. So there's Capone. Anna, when you come to see the flowers, though, I can show you in real life. Promise. Promise. Okay, we're done.
We're done.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Buy some raffle tickets.
Yeah.
Watch for that. Super great prize this week. We'll talk to you all soon. We love you so much.
Mwah. Thank you.